Hey guys! It's been a long time since I hopped on. However, got inspired and wanted to hop on and share a few things about what I've learned about how to move forward in this craziness, right? So, coronavirus, I don't know if you saw the post, but there's a post that went around that said, if you're not pronouncing COVID-19, like, come on, Eileen, you are now. And so literally every time I think about it, it's COVID-19. So if I say that, I'm not making fun of it, just kind of throwing a little joy on a very unhappy subject. Okay, so 6 things that you can do right now during this craziness to kind of move forward to create our new normal. All right, so number 1, be mindful but not fearful. And so what that means is stay up to date with information, however, be picky about your sources. So if the news is all doom and gloom, where can you find just the facts, right? So like, I don't watch the news. Hi, whoever jumped on. I stopped watching the news years ago and have not really gone back to watching the news. My husband went to Afghanistan and I couldn't watch the news because it was all about how terrible Afghanistan was. And so what I was doing is sort of like, if it's important enough, it comes out on social media. And I'm also, because of the personal development program that I do, I'm friends with a state rep. And so they'll post stuff and actually realize that maybe I should actually follow the mayor, and that way I can get updates from the mayor about what's going on. And that way I'm getting all of the information with, the quarantine. We actually had a curfew over our Easter weekend. Starting on Monday, we have to wear masks when we go out in public and all these things. So how can you get all of the information and the facts to know what's going on without the fear? And so if there is a website or a political person that you can follow that will give you all of that information without putting it's the end of the world in there. Number 2, give and get support. So if you are able to reach out to your friends and check out how they're doing, and for yourself, if you're feeling low and maybe you don't like being vulnerable, really check in and be like, well, who can I trust at this moment to support me with how I'm feeling? So we need to take care of ourselves. And then maybe if you know that so-and-so disappears when they get really low, maybe sort of reach out to those people. So give and get support for yourself, for your community, for your circle. The people that you're in quarantine with, you're probably giving and getting support. Just maybe go a little bit beyond that, and maybe throw in your community. What can you do to support your community if you have the means to do it at this time? Number 3, build your new routine. So normal is totally out the door, and it's not going to come back for a little while. Even when after quarantine, they're probably going to do some rolling thing. It's not going to be like, okay, we flattened the curve, now everybody come out again. It'll probably be a slower process and to integrate everyone back into normal. So the cool thing is we get to build new normal. So what do you want to build? What do you want to include, especially during quarantine? If you're in quarantine or stuck in the house, what do you want to build into your daily life to keep you going and to keep you fulfilled and happy? So build your new routine. Number 4, support small businesses. So we know Walmart's going to make it through this. We know that Target is going to make it through this. CPK is going to make it through this. California Pizza Kit, or no, that is CPK. Cheesecake, the big brands we know are going to make it through this. And I'm not saying boycott them. I'm going to go to Walmart today for something I need that's very specific. However, if you can, especially I would say with restaurants, or for me personally with restaurants, I'm putting the vast majority of when I'm ordering food out into smaller restaurants and mom and pop's restaurants, because I want them to be there when everything goes back to normal, right? So support the small businesses in whatever way you can, whether it's, thanking them. I know that I was on a meeting last night and someone was saying that she normally gets like her lashes and stuff done, and so she actually, because she had income still coming in, she actually paid the people to do those services even though they couldn't actually do those services for her. However, she knew that she was an important client, she's got an ongoing relationship, so she actually sent money over. If you can't afford to do something like that and you want to, do it. However, small businesses are who's going to struggle the most during this time. So if you can support small businesses, support small businesses. I'm not saying boycott the big stores. Again, I'm going to Walmart for something very specific that I need, and I have ordered CPK once. However, the vast majority of my spending, if possible, is going to mom and pop shops, small businesses. And I own a small business myself. I know how important that is. Number 5, share and spread good news. There is so much negativity out there. However, Mr. Rogers tells a story about when he was a kid and he saw a very terrible thing happen, and so he looked at his mom and he was like, "Mom, why did this happen?" And his mom just very beautifully, and I'm sort of taking the whole quote and just sort of mashing it down, but basically said, every time something bad happens, look for the helpers. You know, whether it's a tragic incident or whatever, whenever something terrible happens, there's always people coming in to help. There's always people coming in to support. There's always people coming in to do good things. So where we put our energy is what will grow. So instead of putting our energy towards the frustrating parts and the bad and negative parts, put your focus and energy on the good parts and spread them. And as we share more and more good things, then that's what will grow, right? So a lot of life is perspective, and you can be focused on the fights over toilet paper, or you can be focused on, the nurses and the doctors that like take a break and like do some funny video and then go back into their day of battling coronavirus. So spread and share good news. And number 6, grow yourself. Most of us have more time because we are not driving. Most of us are doing Zoom meetings, and you can even like order your food and have it like your groceries put in your car. So a lot of us aren't really walking through stores, and if we are, it's very intentional. So we have a lot more time on our hands. So what can you do during this time to grow yourself? And I'm not saying you have to like learn, just whether that's, physically, maybe you want to walk every day because you're used to sitting behind a desk. Maybe it's, mentally, you want to read a book. Maybe it's spiritually. Maybe you want to pick up meditation. Maybe it's a hobby. You want to learn a new skill. Whatever it is, don't be like, I have to do this one thing. However, you have the opportunity to if you want to. What do you want to do to grow yourself in some capacity in this moment? Because a lot of us have time. So I was saying on my group, so I posted my group first and it's much more detailed. Hey, Priscilla. And then I come on here second. So if you want to get more information, you can hop into the group. But like I started to deal with technological things because I'm not a tech savvy person. So I'm actually learning how to build an email campaign and all of these things that I find very frustrating because I don't know how to do it. However, at this moment, I have more time on my hands. So, hey! So I'm spending some time, energy, and effort into doing that. Not saying that you absolutely have to develop new skills. However, what do you want to do to grow yourself during this time so that you're walking away from this a bigger person, right? Either it's, spiritually, physically, mentally. How do you want to walk away from this, and what do you want to look back at this time and say that you were able to do? And maybe that's giving yourself self-love when you go 1,000,000 miles an hour and just stopping and breathing. Whatever that is to you, what can you do for yourself to grow yourself at this time? So thank you for hopping on. I hope you're doing as well as to be expected. I know that it's a tough time for so many people. And then one thing I want to say real quick before I hop off, because I don't want to stay on too long, is see where you're at. So be really honest with where you're at. Are you coping? Are you surviving? Are you thriving? Right? So don't judge yourself, because this is a very interesting time in our lives. So don't judge yourself. Just where are you at? And then what can you do to get yourself to the next step? So if you're just coping, What do you need to give yourself so that you can get to surviving? If you're surviving, what can you do to love yourself enough to get to thriving? And then if you're thriving, what can you do to love yourself enough to continue to thrive and get bigger? So meet yourself with where you're at, love yourself, and move yourself into the next stage. Okay, so have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys next time. All right, bye.